Hello, welcome to Nate Never Flicks. I'm Nate, you're you, and today I've got an unboxing for you. We will be unboxing a couple of Blu-rays and talk about why I chose to buy those particular Blu-rays. But first, I have a chance for you to win a couple of free movies. Who doesn't like free movies? Specifically, Dr. Sleep and Ex Machina. Now, to win, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and then comment on this video that you have subscribed. Go ahead and comment which video you'd prefer to, or which movie you prefer. And the way it'll work is, once you've done that and I've checked that you're subscribed, I'll put you in my handy dandy jack-o'-lantern. And yeah, I'll put everybody's names in there. I'll do a drawing, make it completely random, completely fair. And if you won, I will comment back on your comment and let you know, hey, guess what, pal? You won. You're getting your movie. So be sure to do that. Let me know which one you prefer. But yeah, if you want to know what's on this Dr. Sleep Blu-ray, I've actually already done a video talking about the difference between the director's cut and the theatrical cut, which one I prefer, and if it's worth checking out. So if you're interested, be sure to check that out. But I gotta say, Ex Machina, if you haven't seen Ex Machina, you are missing out. This is my favorite film of all time, no exaggeration. I'm not even a guy who's good with favorites. You ask me my favorite color, I stammer, I'm not sure. But I can definitively say that for me, Ex Machina, my favorite movie of all time. Just an amazing sci-fi thriller. I love what it has to say about philosophy, about AI, about humankind's possible destiny. This thing gets so great with every single watch. On rewatch, you just notice more juicy character stuff. You get into the philosophy more. And in 4K, these special effects, it's not just me saying this, the Oscars, the Academy Awards, they recognize these special effects in this film. So if you want it, all you gotta do is subscribe and comment below. Now, to talk about the newer films in my collection, let's go ahead and get a little cutting tool here. That there America knife, kind of light, is messing with that. Now yes, I could probably open these without a cutting instrument, without a tool, but you know, showmanship. So let's get to it. The first film that I chose to get is Suspiria. Now, you've probably heard of Suspiria, you might have even seen it. This is a pretty beloved horror film. It's one I haven't gotten around to seeing. And Amazon Prime has really been pushing the remake to me. And I've almost watched it a few times, but let's face it, it just feels wrong to watch a remake before watching the original, especially when the original is so beloved. So people have a lot of good feelings about this film, so I want to see what it's all about. Now, my first exposure to Suspiria, the first time I heard anybody talk about it was when I was a pipsqueak, which is grandfather talk for child. Yeah, when I was a kid, all the time, Bravo would run their 100 scariest moments in horror movie history, which if you haven't seen that, you should check that out. That is a good watch. It's very informative and entertaining if you're a horror fan. And it really gave me a whole lot of insight as a kid and led me to a lot of great movies. And hopefully this is the latest in that run. If you haven't seen it, like search Bravo's 100 scariest horror moments, something like that. Put that in your search on YouTube. I guarantee somebody has uploaded it because it was just so much fun. And you know, horror fans love that kind of thing. So go ahead and check that countdown out. But yeah, there you go. There's the cover, Suspiria, Dario Argento, kind of like a giallo godfather. And I'm wondering if this is gonna start something for me, because if I love this film the way I anticipate loving it, might do a run on giallo films and Argento films. I know a lot of people love Dario Argento. I know he's a very stylistic director, so I can't wait to see what this movie holds in store for me. Let's see. So we got all sorts of special features here. We have a new 4K restoration of the original uncut film. It is an Italian film, so if you're thinking about getting this, you know, be ready for that. Let's see. But yeah, other than that, so we have a couple of commentaries by Argento scholars. I told you there's a lot of reverence for this man. You have Argento scholars. That is their professional title. Their whole career is about Dario Argento and his films like Suspiria. Now, I mentioned seeing this on that Bravo countdown, and the reason I remember it so much from watching that countdown, I mean, there's 100 films on the countdown. This one stuck out though, because the clips that they showed in that countdown, there's such a suddenness and impact to the horror and to the violence that they showed that it kind of just grabbed me. And then the color, the cinematography and the color palette of this film, I mentioned his style. I can't wait to see what this is going to be. I think it's going to really grab me. I could see this being the beginning of a new great relationship. Like I said, I've almost watched the remake a few times, but you never want to watch the remake first. As a child, I actually watched the 1998 Psycho remake, which is like a shot-for-shot remake, before Hitchcock's Psycho, which is like a cardinal sin. That's a blasphemous. You do not do that. So I would not dare do that with this film. If you want to see the disc, there you go. We have our main character, our protagonist right there, and I kind of love that Suspiria font. So yeah, can't wait to have some fun with this one. If you'd like a review, comment so, and I'll do that for you. Another reason I haven't watched that remake yet is that I hear that it might be a tad pretentious, and I can see that because you look at the runtime for this movie, it's 98 minutes. Man, my lighting is really hurting this. It's 98 minutes. I want to say the runtime for the remake is some ungodly 220, 240. 240 can't be right, that'd be insane. Anyway, I want to say it's north of 200. I may be mistaken. I'm going off my mind here, which ain't the best. But yeah, I think this one, I'd probably like it more than the remake from what I've heard. Comment below which one you prefer and how you feel about this film if you haven't. But yeah, let's move on to what's next. So up next, one second, dropped my cutting utensil, so much for showmanship, is Zombie. Now, if you haven't heard about Zombie, don't worry. I mean, I feel like this is kind of a deep cut. This is like a true blue, dyed-in-the-wool horror fan kind of film. This is a 70s release, released in Italy, so yeah, a couple of Italian films today. But I'm really intrigued by this film because this was also on that Bravo countdown that I watched as a kid. And on there, Eli Roth was talking about just being blown away by the effects and the gore in this film. He talked about a scene in which there's like some eye gore. Somebody's head slowly gets lowered and it's gonna get poked out. And the way that it's done, he says it's some of the most dreadful, suspenseful bit of filmmaking he's ever seen. And a lot of people were really kind of saying the same. It says in Italy, it was considered the unofficial sequel to Dawn of the Dead. In England, it was known as Zombie Flesh Eaters and banned as obscene. That is what I'm talking about. This movie's gonna be a heck of a ride. In America, it was called Zombie and advertised with the depraved tagline, "We are going to eat you." Well, that's a fun little promise for a film, nice little gimmick. Another thing of note with this movie, Eli Roth was talking about on that countdown that there's a scene in this film where a zombie fights a shark. That's right, a zombie fights a shark. I have never seen anything like that, and you can't go wrong there. Because it's either gonna be goofy and just a ton of fun because it's silliness, or it's just gonna be badass and fun because a zombie fighting a shark. I don't need to explain that one. Come on, guys. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. So this one, then inside we actually get our chapter selections right here. There's the disc. You know, pretty straightforward. Kind of, it's a very 70s-esque font. It's bold. It pops. As far as special features and extras, we get audio commentaries from the star Ian McCulloch and Diabolic magazine editor Jason J. Slater. Now this thing also comes complete with TV spots, the original trailers that were shown with the film, some radio spots, and an intro by Guillermo del Toro, which is saying a lot because he is an aficionado. He loves the horror genre. He's giving us all sorts of really cool, thought-provoking, scary movies, and his style is so much different than Eli Roth. So the fact that these two major players in horror both speak so highly of Zombie, it had me intrigued and it has me fascinated. I can't wait to check this one out. Again, if you want a review for this, just say as much. I will do that. But there you go, guys. Those are my two newest additions to the Blu Ray collection. A couple of Italian horror films from back in the day, movies that people just have a lot of love for, and I'm hoping to join the bandwagon. Now, if you want to join the Nightmare Flicks bandwagon, it'd be greatly appreciated. Go ahead and subscribe, and a little something for your troubles. You know, you might get Ex Machina or Dr. Sleep. So go ahead and subscribe. Let me know which one you would like. That'll enter you into the raffle or the sweepstakes, whatever you want to call it. That'll get your name into Pumpkin. So be sure to do that. Other than that, you guys, you have a fantastic day. I am Nate for Nightmare Flicks saying that's a wrap.